In this example, what we're going to do is take a regular photograph. You can see that we have a photograph from Venice here. And if you've ever been to Venice, you know that at certain times of the day or at any time of the day, you can have an enormous amount of shadows because there are many avenues and winding avenues and things like that. So the sun can be blocked out by a lot of buildings. It can happen anywhere. Turning one particular corner, walking through another area, you're definitely in a lot of shadows. It could be any time of the day, and you're going to have a lot of shadows. So this presents a difficult problem. The image will be available to you as well, and you can take a peek at it and start to work on it as you wish. But we're going to modify things just to improve things a certain amount to a certain degree. And if we look at the layers here, we'll just turn off some of these things, some of these other layers, and we'll just take a peek at a shot here. You can see we still have a lot of highlights that are lost here up top, and you can see that we lost a lot of highlights here as well. Now if you get something to this absolute color, it might be very, very difficult for you to actually modify it enough to get your highlights back. And I'm going to show you some interesting ways that we can work with this shot. It is a rather difficult shot. As you can see, this is all lost here. All the detail is lost in this area here. And you can use the healing brush or what have you to try to make this look a little bit better. But overall, the image itself is a lot better than before. And I'll show you how you can do that. It looks more stylish. There is a bit of a color cast, and if you take a look at the Photoshop capabilities disc that I have, the packed DVD-ROM, you'll see a lot of information about understanding what color casts are, working with color, doing all types of things to improve your images. And it's always great to take an image that doesn't look so good to begin with and make it look a lot better. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to step through some workflow. So what I did in the beginning, I just scanned this shot. I didn't care too much about actually removing too many of the dust and scratches or making this line up so nicely, because you can do a couple of things in Photoshop to crop and straighten with ease. And I'll show you that. From the File Automate menu, you have Crop and Straighten. Crop and straighten photos. So with a little bit of work, this is going to crop for us. It's not going to rotate it, and you can see that you might still have a few imperfections there. Now, dealing with a lot of black in your image makes cropping a lot harder within the crop and straighten. It might not work at all depending on the colors that you have in there. So we could use this. We just have to rotate it. We could use this, but we'll do it a different way. That's the easy way. We'll use the crop tool, and we'll just put a crop out here. And you can also rotate your crops, so you don't always have to make them straight. And this allows you to really get in there and make your image as straight as possible at the angles that you have. And I'll show a lot of other tricks as well. I'm not worried about the very extreme edges there, and you could make this line up almost exactly if you wanted to. We're doing a little bit of a quick way here, so we don't necessarily have to make it so perfect, but you could just rotate it around until you have a perfect angle, and then you double click on it, and then that's going to crop. You can see that we still have a little bit too much here, just like the crop and straighten. So you could do it again, or you could just crop a little bit more. If you hold the Control or Command key, it's not going to snap to a wider range. So that'll help you there to be a little bit more detailed. And then we'll just do our image, rotate canvas 90 degrees clockwise. And then you can see we have our image here. For the most part, it's straight how we want it. Maybe it's a little bit off, a tiny bit. Could use a little bit more rotation. But it's fine for the most part. And we can see it compares well to our other image.